Hey baddies!
What's up, guys?
Today is episode 16 and we are letting you in on our top 5 beliefs for a successful business. So, again, to keep ourselves on track because this has been working out so well, the first one that we wrote down is investing in your education. You gotta spend money to make money, girl. And I don't mean spend money on new curtains, brand new tweezers, a new blow dryer, a new tattoo machine, right? If yours takes a shit or yours is 7 years old, maybe it's time for an upgrade. But that's not necessarily like investing in yourself. Investing in yourself is something that you are going to get continued longevity out of, such as education, right? Continuing education is huge in the services that we offer. Because we've talked about it before, you don't want to be one of those old dogs who just doesn't want to keep up with the times.
Right.
You know?
And especially with tattooing, there's different techniques that keep coming out. You know, these young kids keep getting more innovative with the different styles and the application of the tattoos. So to translate that into kind of tattoo realm, specifically talking about online seminars, or in-person seminars, really learning from your other artists. If you see someone that you enjoy their artwork and you want to do art like them, they most likely have some sort of online tutorial, at least. A lot of artists do. And really just taking the time to invest back into yourself and invest back into your craft is, the main thing. Because investing into your business and investing into your craft, I feel like, are two different things. Because investing into your business is more like, the curtains, the machine, the hairdryer, the blow dryer. That's all part of the business. But investing into yourself is you honing in on your skill set. And I think that that's something that makes a very successful business, is the ability to perform. Especially when you're in a service-based industry, you need to invest in your ability to perform as opposed to your ability to just put on a show. Anyone can put on a show, but a real artist can create a masterpiece with Crayola.
We all can have our license, our certificate, our, hey, I'm here, I can do this piece of paper. And that's what makes you a tech, okay? What gives you the artist piece of that is being able to adapt and adjust to what's coming out, what's new, what's trending even. Just learning how to do those things to keep your craft up to date and continuously evolving.
Yeah, or even inventing your own technique, right? Because that's also investing. Investing doesn't always have to mean money. It can mean time. It can mean effort. It can mean a whole bunch of other things, And I feel like when you invest into yourself, it's kind of like a compilation of all of these things where you're investing the time, the money, the effort in order to better your craft.
Well, because that's one thing that I feel like a lot of people who don't get into business don't understand is your time is money. Your time is more valuable than anything else out there. That's why so many people, as they become more successful, they add new adventures on and new endeavors. They are continuously adding and building to their team so that they have more time in their schedule for what they need to prioritize to continuously scale and build up on that business. So your time is just as valuable as the money that you're investing. Because even when you invest money into this class, maybe you had to travel as well. That is a lot of money, but that's a lot of time that you just had to take off of your books, away from your clients, away from your home life, away from your family. That's a lot of time that you have to put in to changing things up as well.
Yeah, I feel like that's the case with any goal, right? Even if you have fitness goals, you have to invest the time and the effort because you have to take the time to meal prep to make sure that your calories are what they are supposed to be. You have to take the time to go to the gym to make sure that you're doing the appropriate workouts. And for tattooing, even let's say you purchase the tutorials. If you don't take the time to not only watch those videos, but apply the skill, let's say that you have drawing. Okay, someone just showed you how to compose a tattoo in a more efficient or a more beautiful way. You have to now take the time to actually utilize those skills and practice those skills before you could even apply that onto a person that's permanent, right? So like taking the time to actually draw things out by hand, taking the time to tattoo on fake skin even, or taking on models in order to learn that, you know? So that is all I feel like a huge piece of what makes a successful business, is really just investing back into yourself with time, money, and effort.
100%. And sometimes, like, to your point about, like, you have to take the time to not only watch the course, but you already paid for, or you paid for the course, now you have to go to the class. You have to put time into, like, training yourself to do that, because I've been to classes where they teach me a new technique on, like, how to use my hands while lashing and how to, like, use my tweezers. And I am so wired to go a certain way that it took me longer lashing at first with that new technique. But it wound up being more efficient and better for me and for my clients in the end. So investing in your education, or even just in yourself in general, it doesn't have to just be education, but I feel education kind of goes hand in hand with everything that we just said.
Yeah, because it's your craft. It's your ability to perform.
So invest in your education. Your continuing education is huge, huge, huge. That's why we put that as number one. You have to spend money to be able to turn around and make money. And I feel like investing all of that into your craft and your brain is 10 out of 10. And also, if you do a service, if your business is service-based around something that utilizes your body, you should probably invest in something that takes care of your body too. Whether that's massages, chiropractic, a proper chair or bedding for your client to be elevated enough for you to not have to do the hunchback thing. So keep that in mind too. Number 2 that we've got on here is setting yourself apart / what makes you different from everybody else. Like, what makes you stand out? Because, why are you smiling at me?
Because I just, as a tattoo artist, this is kind of like a big point for me, because, you know, anyone can throw a Pinterest tattoo on you and call it good. But in the tattoo world, there is no bigger compliment than a client, because I've had so many clients message me and be like, I was at the gym and someone saw your work and was like, is that a Frankie Ray Tattoos? And everybody...
Oh my God, why am I having such a hard time with this word? Your cousin was just in town, got a tattoo from you, and they were literally about to bust out of town. They were in line checking out, not even 35 minutes after your appointment. And she was like, oh my God, I love your tattoo. Can I have the information?
Yeah. And I feel like...
And it was a Little Mermaid tattoo. You know how many people out there have a Little Mermaid tattoo, and your tattoo got...
But this is a great point to be had, because yes, it was a Little Mermaid tattoo, right? And Little Mermaid is something that I personally didn't even... I don't know if you guys can hear our cats just going haywire in the background.
Leave them alone. But they're bullying each other through the door, and it's probably not going to stop.
So going back to the point with the Little Mermaid tattoo. So that is a perfect example of being able to stand out, right? Because, you know, I obviously didn't create the character of the Little Mermaid, and you still want the tattoo to be distinctive, to be able to understand, like, yes, this is Ariel, this is Disney, this is from Little Mermaid. But where you can stand out is throwing your own little twist onto it. So because I'm someone that specializes in realism and whip shade and fine line, I was really experimenting with a lot of different line weights, giving it kind of a little bit more dynamic, a little bit more of a realistic light source and things like that. I won't bore you guys with the details of how I made that tattoo epic, but the point of it is, even with something that is a very distinctive, already created tattoo, you want to approach things to make your own spin on it, right? So if you have a craft, you know, let's say even you do nails, you do hair, someone comes in with an inspo pick, right?
Somebody does lashes.
Someone comes in with an inspo pick. You want to be able to throw your own signature on that, so that when somebody else sees it, that's what catches their eye, is that they understand, you know what I mean, the concept, but they see that it's slightly different, right? Because the tattoo that I created, yes, it was Little Mermaid, but the compliment came because of the fact that it was like, oh my gosh, I love the little twists that you put on it. I love the distinctive things, you know what I mean? And coming up with that artistic signature is going to set you apart a lot from everybody else.
And while I totally 100% back everything you just said about artistic and your craft having its own artistic spin, you as a person, you should stand out. So I have sat in seminars and classes where Jerusha Hawk, actually, she is a profound speaker and life coach. She talked at one of the last conferences that I was at, and she was talking about code switching. And I can relate to that because and how code switching actually.
What is code switching? I don't know what that is.
So I'm getting there.
Sorry.
In an industry like this, where you kind of have to like switch yourself a little bit for each client, it can be beneficial, but it can also be damaging. So to not lose yourself in the code switching, in between each client. So if I have a client that comes in and she is retired, she's a jazzercise kind of grandma, she stays home all day, she takes care of the grandkids, you know, there's only so much her and I can relate on. And so I'm going to shift into that persona a little bit more. If I have a client that comes in, like my best friend comes in, we're going to be filming content. We're talking about any and everything. I can be real with her. I can drop every curse word in the book. We can be I'm authentically me. So it's about not losing that authenticity while having to adapt to different clients, right? So what code switching is, to your client, or to your question, is it's when you are switching your personalities to fit for a different type of person or a different scene or a different setting. It is often brought up a lot amongst Black men and women. When they go to get an interview, they are told to act a certain way or to hold themselves a certain way.
Sure.
And I know that you can relate to this as well. Like, even though you don't know what code switching is, that doesn't mean I haven't seen you do it before.
Yeah.
Where in certain settings, because of where we grew up, the people we hung around, the things that we have partaken in our lives, and the things that we believe in, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, you kind of have to shift yourself sometimes so that somebody doesn't judge you based on your political standpoint, the way that you talk, the way that you walk, the way that you dress. I mean, hello, we have face tattoos. I have neon pink hair. I have 2-inch long nails. People just look at you and they assume something. So when you bring something else to the table, you kind of shock them a little bit. So, to not lose yourself in code switching, because that can be damaging. That can be detrimental to your business because you want to stand out.
You want to still have that authenticity.
Yes, you want to still have your own signature to it. That's why no matter what I ever do, I will always have a touch of pink in my hair because you know who the hell I am. You will see me from a million miles away. You know I'm the girl with the pink hair, okay? You know I own Wicked Beauty. You know my wife is Frankie Ray. Like, you know. But at the same time, I can switch my personality to talk to the 19-year-old client that I have that, you know what I mean? Versus the 60-some, 80-some year old clients that I have that are retired and just living their best life, like knitting sweaters and stuff. So you can switch a little bit, but keeping true to your authentic self so that you don't get lost in the sauce yourself. Because being who you are is actually going to draw your people in. I have a specific situation, a specific client in my head. I have lost a client before. She just ghosted, stopped coming. She came for an appointment and then never messaged me to book again. And I know it's because at her last appointment, she was making so many comments about my nails and how her daughter-in-law, she made her daughter-in-law take her long nails off because they're just so trashy. Goodness. She was upset because I was listening to Sleep Token. She said it was giving her anxiety. I happily changed the music, but she was like, this screamy stuff I just can't do. And if you guys listen to Sleep Token, like, he doesn't really scream like like he's not like, you guys bring me the horizon.
That's a whole other podcast, but I have a conspiracy about Sleep Token.
You're not getting into that. They have a cult following. They will kill you.
Part of the conspiracy, man.
So, I have lost clients because of who I am and how I am. And I'm okay with that because I have so many clients that ride or die for me and love me to my core that it doesn't faze me if you don't want to hang around, because my authentic signature and being true to myself is good for my business too. I would rather keep boosting my business by being true to myself, believing in all the things. I mean, there's so much drama going on right now in the lash industry, and I have decided to take a step back because I don't play that mean girl shit. I don't like we're dogging on each other, we're making it a whole thing. I don't do that. I've been making a couple funny little TikToks about it, and that's where I'm going to leave it at, because I don't do that. I'm not letting this whole situation that really, like, it has some stuff to do with me because I've, like, supported this brand and, like, I repped them. But, like, it's really not that deep for me, and it's not going to take me down at the same time. It's not going to affect my business. And so that's, I believe in that. Number 3, outwork your excuses.
So yeah, this is a big one, and this is something that I firmly believe in. Because everybody is gonna have those bad days. Everyone is gonna have, moments of
I don't want to do it,
or even just like
I don't want to go.
Yeah, I don't want to go. I don't want to do it. I don't have it in me.
Everybody sucks today.
Yeah, for real. And the thing about that is a couple of things. One, if you can look at it in a couple of ways, right? Because you can look at it in like the competition way of, if I don't, someone else will, and someone else will snag your spot. So Michael Jackson used to say that he would immediately need to record his idea for a song, and it could have been 3:00 in the morning, and he would call his people over to record it because he said, if I don't record it now, God's gonna give the idea to Prince, and so we got to record it. So you can have that mentality. And that
gives me anxiety, so I will. Like, immediately, like, for whatever reason, we started talking about one of my next big moves with my lashing, and immediately, like, I was like, oh god, somebody else is gonna steal this. There are people already doing what I want to do next. But I was immediately like, somebody's going to do what I want to do. It's horrible. I have to email 1 million people right now. Like, that gives me anxiety. So if you operate like me, somebody else will take that idea from me.
Yeah. You don't want Prince to steal your song. But the other way that you can look at it, too, is you can get into kind of a positive standpoint of fuck it, right? Because if you are someone like me who just kind of wakes up on the wrong side of the world, or if you struggle with PTSD, you get into these states of mind where it feels almost debilitating. It feels like you don't want to do anything. And, I've talked about the fuck it state of mind before, especially with addiction. But there's a positive side to that, right? Because there's the positive side of, fuck it, I'm going to go hard today. I don't want to, but fuck it. What the fuck? Like, I'm in a bad mood, so I'm going to tattoo. There's been times where I have literally been in such a foul state of mind. I'm texting people and I'm like, hey, I know it's like 8:30, but do you want to come in for your tattoo that you're scheduled for next Tuesday? It's kind of small, but I just need to get out of my head, and I need to work. And that's literally playing on those excuses. It's making those excuses of I don't want to, or I can't, or I whatever, and it's literally flipping them to make them work for you.
100%. Make yourself your own biggest competitor. Compete against who you were yesterday. Compete against who you want to be. You want to be that person? Go beat her.
The other thing, too, that I think is a really positive thing to do, which I have done a lot recently, especially with my journey with sobriety and my fitness goals, is, pretend that you are having a conversation with your future self that has everything that you want, that has the body, that has achieved the goals, that has achieved the business, that has achieved all of these things, right? And you're talking to them. What would they say to you if you said, I don't really want to go to work today, so I think I'm going to call in sick?
I think last week you were just having a bad day, and you asked ChatGPT, like, this is how I'm feeling. What would Arnold Schwarzenegger say to me?
I did, because
and he was like, go train.
He was like, go train. You go train. You don't let it. Yeah, it was the whole thing. But for real, though, like, if you had to tell if your future self that had everything were to have a conversation, like, what would that look like? Would you tell yourself, okay, you're feeling like shit, maybe go to the gym, or go get a pedicure, or go do something for you?
That's going to be your new thing. We just got back from getting pedicures. It's going to be her new thing.
I had a bad day, so we haven't got pedicures. So, but seriously, what would your future self tell you? It would most likely be, take care of yourself, or find something that makes it a little bit easier, and then push on, because ultimately your future self has already put in that work. So if you actually want to make that a reality, your excuses can't win. Your future self is depending on you to continue and push on.
100%. not that this has to tie in with, like, outwork your excuses, but to your point of like, have that conversation with yourself. I feel like everybody needs to have a mission statement. Whether you write it down, put it in your phone, it's in the bio of your webpage, whatever that is. You need to have that down somewhere so that every time that you're questioning like, oh, I don't want to do this. Why am I doing this? Why did I start this? It'd be easier to have a 9-to-5. You can go back to your mission statement and see why you started. Mm-hmm. It'll really boost you and remind you what the heck you're doing, where you're at, where you need to be, and all of that jazz. Honestly, I'm going to skip number 4 and dive into number 5 because they kind of go hand in hand with where we trailed off to. Number 5, have a vision without needing to know all the steps. Bite off more than you can chew and figure out how to chew. Okay? I think that goes so much with, well, why did I start? I don't know where I'm going. I don't know how. You don't got to get it figured out. We've talked about this before. When you're feeling like you're at the bottom of the Mariana Trench, you just kind of got to get out of the trench, and then later you can figure out why you felt that way and how you got here. You kind of just got to go, girl. Like, you just kind of got to, like, be like, all right, today I have to do this, this, this. I got to email these people. I've got a meeting at 1. I've got clients from 2 to 8. Just bust it out. Like, just push through, and it'll all kind of make sense as it keeps coming. One of the things that I am currently working on, we are currently working on, is it's got 1 million steps. It's got a lot of other people that are going to have to get involved. The first step was as simple as
Jesus Christ.
Our cat Savvy just jumped to his usual spot, saw that the blue light over there was in his way. It freaked him out, and he just like catapulted backwards. Him. So as all the moving parts started to overwhelm me, and I was like, I don't know where to go. I don't know how to start. Oh my gosh, how much money is this going to cost? Da, 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 da. The first thing I had to do was compile a list of manufacturers and email them. Mm-hmm. All I did was get a list, get all their emails in order. I literally clicked the email, copy, paste, send. Click the email, copy, paste, send. Did that like 4 or 5 times, and then it was just a matter of waiting for replies. Like, the first step often isn't as big and huge and scary. And if you kind of break it down, and if you don't know where to go, because honestly, all I know now is that I'm waiting for people to, like, keep the ball rolling with me. I can't really do anything if I don't get anything back. And then as I go, more people will be there. Also, if you get stuck, chances are there is somebody else that has tried to do this before. Mm-hmm. You can ask, okay? Like, just shoot a DM. Hey, girl, I love what you've been doing. This has been a dream of mine. Would you care telling me, like, I'm on this step right now? How do you feel about that? What do you think? Like, any advice? And some people are going to be gatekeepy. We have a podcast episode about that. Some people are going to be like, I love that this is a goal of yours. I am so happy to hear I'm inspiring you and you like my work. This is what I did. This is how I got here. Because some people understand that them telling you how they did it, it doesn't mean that you're their competition. Okay? So, bite off more than you can chew and figure out how to fucking chew, girl.
Yeah, and I feel like, putting things into an analogy, because I love analogies, it's how I best comprehend things, right? It's almost like, you know what I mean? Let's say that you have a ship, you know what I mean? And you're about to set sail to an unknown destination. You haven't been there before because this is a new place. And you don't want to set sail because there may or may not be a huge, wave that you don't know how to handle, or there may be mermaids in the water. There's all of these things that you're pretending.
The what ifs.
Yeah, the what ifs. But all you have to do is set sail and take the seas as they come, sugar pie, adjust your sails. And I know that I've said this in one of our previous podcasts, right, is, it's not about controlling the wind. It's about adjusting your sails, right? Mm-hmm. Because you can't control everything that's going to happen in your life, no matter what you do. Even if you stay in the exact same place, you cannot control what's going to happen, right? But you can adjust how you respond to it. So taking that first step, you don't have to have everything planned out. You don't have to have every single step along the way, because even if you have every single step planned out, you're just going to get more frustrated because there's going to be different paths that you just have to take. That's the way life works. It's never just as easy as bop, bop, bop. It's like a bop, bop, stop, step to the left, continue on, step to the right. It's like a tango, But the point of it is that your vision for where you want to go is always clear. Your heading is always clear and in your foresight. And as long as you keep that true, your compass will always point north.
100%. Like, I literally just said this when we were talking about our first point. You have to be willing to adjust and adapt. Okay, like, you have two options: to either chase your dreams and figure it the fuck out, or not chase your dreams. Like, if you're gonna get scared, it's kind of like one of those puzzles where it's like, did you do this? Did you do this? Yes or no? Like, did you do this? Yes, no. And then it's gonna take you to a different thing. That's kind of how owning a business is. Like, you kind of just have to get in there and just go, girl. Like, you have to have a rough outline of your plan. You don't have to have the whole blueprint with all the details, the measurements, and the links. It'll kind of come to you. Number 4 that we have on here is bet on yourself before anybody else will, because that's kind of all you have. So just believe in your damn self. You can do it. You got this.
You're going to face a lot more negativity than you are going to want and that you're going to expect, especially when you are starting out. When you are starting out and you are telling people around you that this is the goal you're chasing, this is what you're after, you are going to be surprised at how many of your closest family and friends will tell you you cannot do it. And if you listen to them, you never will. But you have to be willing to see past that and know what your true potential is.
Oh, it's risky. You don't have insurance benefits. There's no 401k matching. What happens if the economy drops? Are you sure you're going to take a chance on yourself? You bet your ass I am. Because anything could happen working a 9 to 5. Anything could happen being a CEO of somebody else's company. Not a CEO of somebody else's company, but being just under that, like a vice president of somebody else's company. They could let you go at any point. There are risks associated with everything that you do, but taking the chance on yourself is going to turn out to be more rewarding. And to your point, it is usually the people closest to you that will scoff at you the most until they see where you're at. Then suddenly they want to be like, oh my God, I always believed in you. No, you didn't. No, the hell you didn't. You're going to make some of the best friends in your whole life along the way to your destination, your success destination. You're going to meet some of the most supportive, beneficial people you've ever interacted with. I cannot tell you, I've seen this trending around the internet, and I have experienced this myself. Some of your closest friends from before you started being an entrepreneur and putting yourself first and taking those goals on head first will be sitting down here in the viewers list, but they won't be clicking like. They won't be putting no hearts, no comments, no reshares. But the people you met along the way are the ones sharing your stuff to their story, tagging you in posts that are looking for a recommendation of a lash artist, a tattoo artist, a hairstylist, whatever. They're the ones that are calling you up because, hey, I have a wedding and I want you to do makeup for every single person because I trust you, I love you, thank you. Those are going to be the people that are 10 out of 10 every time, rocking real hard for you. It's everybody else. It's a sense of envy.
It's a sense of envy, and I think that the main premise to take away is I feel like it goes into one of our previous podcasts of not seeking the external validation as much, because along this journey, even if it is your fitness goals, let's say that you have not even an outrageous fitness goal, but let's say that you are someone who maybe is a little bit more on the heavier side and you want to lose 200 pounds and you don't want to take Ozempic, right? You want to do it the natural way. You're going to have a lot of people saying, are you kidding me? You're not going to be able to do that.
Yeah, just do it. It's so easy.
And it's unfortunate that those people exist, and it's unfortunate that a lot of times those people are the ones closest to us, right? But that's where it becomes, you cannot listen to the people who are either giving or not giving you that validation. You need to listen to your internal compass, because if you have that drive inside of you, I personally believe that that's because it is written that is what you're supposed to have. If that drive has been placed inside of you, it is because that is a dream that you're supposed to fulfill. And it might take you longer than expected. It might take you down paths and take you across seas that you'd never dreamed to be on. But that's the entire process, and the point of the journey is it isn't so much the destination, but it's having the confidence to set sail in the first place.
I truly believe, and I say all the time, the same God that gave you the idea will not let you fail. Just because you have a bump in the road, girl, you are meant to be here. You have a purpose. That purpose has been written in the stars for you since the beginning of time. 3 lifetimes ago, your soul, and this is going to get rabbit hole-y, but like, your soul has been around for a long damn time. If you don't believe that, you can skip the next like 3 minutes of this podcast. But I truly believe in reincarnation. I believe our souls have been around for a long time. Okay? 3 lifetimes ago, she's been along for a long time. I've been around for a long time, but like that girl been around for a long time.
This is my last lifetime, I swear.
Whatever. I truly believe that your soul, even 3 lifetimes ago, this life was already written out the way it's supposed to go. And again, it's one of those puzzles where it's, are you going to apply for this job? Yes or no? And that's going to determine what happens next. If your end goal is to be, not even your end goal, but if the written statement at the end of your life is to be a billionaire and have grandbabies and da-da-da-da, you will get there regardless. There just might be different paths and different routes to get there. Like, a maze has a couple little, oh fuck, gotta backtrack. Okay, go this way, go that way. Oh fuck, gotta go backtrack. At the end of the day, you're gonna get to the same ending. You start here, you end here. Doesn't really matter how you get there. So again, that was rabbit hole-y, but hopefully if you didn't believe in that whole segment, you skipped that pretty clear. Just freaking believe in yourself. And we've talked about it in a previous podcast about how your internal compass, intuition, if you can't trust yourself, who can you trust? If you can't trust yourself, why should anybody else trust you?
And where did you learn to distrust yourself?
Ooh.
Ask yourself that. Like, what or who made you think that you yourself were not trustworthy of managing your own life?
These are the type of questions we keep asking Frankie on her bad days. Who made you feel this way? Who took that from you? Who made you feel...
So ask yourself, the next time that you are relying on other people's validation, or next time that you hear a naysayer or someone who's a hater who's dragging down your goals, and it really impacts you, like, ask yourself, who taught me that I needed to hear that I can do this? Who taught 100%. You know what I mean? Like, you need to know within yourself that your dream can become a reality.
100%. And again, like I previously said, sit down and write down your mission statement. I'm going to keep it so real. I don't have mine physically written down. I know why I started. I know what I'm doing. But I know that I need to have mine written down. And I think it'd be really cool if we did something with that and like made it really fancy and pretty and put it like in our studio.
All right, let's do it.
Especially with the rebrand and the remodel.
Absolutely.
Anyways, a little fun idea. I think with that, you're going to have so much clarity into what you're doing it for, who you're doing it for, why you're doing it, etc., etc. It'll keep you centered, it'll keep you grounded, keep you on track, but also write down your 5 beliefs for a successful business and your things that make you feel like you stand out. Like, you can even go through the 5 things we just talked about and answer them for yourself, right? Like, answer them or speak them into existence. If you don't believe in yourself, girl, you better do some shadow work. You better get to believing in yourself.
If you don't believe in yourself, who will believe in you?
Mm-hmm. If you don't believe in yourself, who can you believe in?
Oh, that's a good question. All right, so wrapping up, that is Frankie and Becca's
top 5
ways
beliefs
to have
for
a
successful business.
Yes. So
next week we're gonna do our top 5 beliefs for a healthy and successful marriage.
Yeah.
So if you feel like you need to tune in on that one's coming in hot.
Yeah, and I promise we're healthy.
You are happy here.
I am happy here. I've been told.
Anyways,
we have a very
right now
excellent
abrupt
marriage.
Which we do have a good marriage. We have a healthy marriage.
We do, and I feel as though that's going to be a talking point, is being best friends with your spouse and being able to joke and
insert cat puking emoji. Actually, literally, it was supposed to be my best friend comes in to get her lashes done today. Quick little sidebar before we say bye baddies and whatever. She goes, what are you doing tonight? And she goes, oh, you have to record the podcast. Do you want to go get pedicures? I said, yeah. And I said, let me text my wife. Like, there really isn't
one of the
anything.
Gals.
Look who made an appearance. He's the one who's been yelling and then jumped from the light.
Yeah, that's savvy. He is
king of the hill. He is in charge of this house. He's an 18-pound cat.
He's
a big boy.
Hitler. So,
Anywho, thanks for making an appearance, Sadie.
Yes.
Our first special guest.
Oh my gosh.
Not really.
Our
We've had
first
other cats
special
on here.
guest. Yeah.
Anywho'sville, we'll get into the
Yes.
top 5 beliefs for a healthy marriage next week. So if you guys liked this, if you guys thought this was helpful, drop like the piece of paper with the pencil.
Yeah.
Act like you're taking notes, like you're writing your mission statement. Okay, do that for us, and follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Send us an email, a Gmail, a message, whatever. I sound like an old person
all the
now.
things, all the stuff and all the things.
Okay, love you guys. Bye, baddies.
Adios, guys.